Thanks for coming after lunch or before lunch. Today we are going to talk about student leadership. Actually, the title is Student Tech Group. Welcome. And I'm Metin Ferhatoğlu. I'm the tech director in my school, American Robert College, Istanbul, Turkey. And I have a colleague, Özgür.
Hi, my name is Özgür. I am the head of mathematics at Robert College, and we have a student here.
Hi everyone, I'm Ece. I'll be a senior this fall in Robert College. Since my prep year, we have this one-to-one laptop program in our school. I think we're going to talk about now.
We are lucky that we have Ece. By coincidence, she was in New York City, so she just came for this presentation, plus Özgür's presentation. Probably you attended her keynote presentation. So we are lucky to have a student here because in all of our presentations, we try to have students. They tell the truth. So we are going to talk about the best practices, what we have done in our school. We started our one-to-one laptop program with students in 2011, and we started with teachers in 2004. So the most important part is with the students. When students have the devices, it can be a laptop, it can be an iPad, or a Chromebook. We don't have Chromebooks in our country, so we have laptops or iPads or Samsung tablets. But it's just a tool, so it's not very important. We'll focus on learning, and in this presentation, we'll talk about the leadership of students, how they become leaders. First of all, we want to find out if you have a student leadership program like this in your school. Would you please raise your hands if you have a program like this? Okay, 4. And are there anyone who are planning to have a student program? Yes, perfect. Okay, so our first exercise is we want to hear from you. If you are running a program, it's good, and you may have some questions or challenges if you can put on paper. And if you have not started one yet, then it's better. Just if you have any questions in your mind, just put on paper, post-its, and we'll be happy to answer them. And since it's our 4th year, it's end of our 4th year, so we think we found some solutions to common problems, so we would like to hear from you as well. And we will share these on Twitter if it's okay with you. Just 2-3 minutes, not too long. And we have stickers, at the end of the session. You can grab one. And dessert is here, I think. Yeah. Limited. There are very nice questions, and I can see that we will address most of them, or try to address most of them.
I have a very thick marker, so to go to.
Oh, that's okay. Okay. And we'll come back to the questions.
Before the video, actually, we have a video. He is one of grade 9 student. He will explain his feelings about that. Why we have a student tech crew? The first thing, we believe that when we start running one-to-one laptop project, it was a need. And instead of calling someone from IT department or outside of the class, you have to stop your lesson if you have a difficulty or a problem with a device. So we thought someone can help, and usually, students are clever. They're sometimes much better than us in technology. So we thought if we have some technique crew in the class, they will be really supportive and helpful for us. And the other thing, we always believe that they have to take more responsibility. And when they do such a thing, it's an opportunity for them to be a student leader. And when we started that project, we've been thinking if we can do that as a club or something else. And we thought that they're helping to community, everyone, not just to teachers, but their classmates as well. So we decided to run that as community learning project. So it is also a community service from their perspective. Shall we watch the video?
Yeah. There's a short video. Let's go.
I think it was a very positive experience for me because it was nice to be helping other people who didn't know as computers as much as I did. So they also learned something, and I also encountered some problems that I didn't know, and I learned something as well.
I'm feeling really happy because I helped my friends and my teachers, and when I solve their problems, they are also really happy, and to see the smile on their faces makes me really happy. Yeah.
Actually, I was really happy to help my friends, my teacher, and so show them how to use their computer as well, and it made me feel better because when someone becomes happier, I feel happier more than them.
In class, when a teacher has a problem with a project or with their laptops, I help them, and they were all happy with me. And also, I teach the teachers how to use OneNote in a lunch break. I tried to help people as much as I could with their problems and things they couldn't do. I tried to solve them, and if I couldn't solve them, I tried to give them advice about doing them.
During lessons, when our friends had problems, we tried to solve their problems, and we tried to solve our teachers' problems as well. It was a little bit hard to finish the homework. We finished our homeworks last because we helped our friends. It was a little bit hard, but I'm really proud of it and I'm really happy.
Firstly, we help teachers how to use some programs, especially in this year, we are going to teach some teacher how to use Haiku or Moodle, and when we do that, we can easily access something. There are both profit for us and for the teachers. So, as I said in the first question, it made me happy.
Because I wanted to help my friends and my teacher about technology, and I think I'm I know technology better than everybody in my class, except include teachers.
Hi, I'm Sibel Sebüktekin. I'm a chemistry teacher and I'm blessed with 2 tech members in my intro chemistry class and I love them. They provided me already with the best periodic table on the web ever and I so enjoy working with them. They're helpful at all times, they're knowledgeable and they're very cooperative. Thank you.
As a student who's not a tech crew member, but a person who benefited from the student tech crew really much since my prep year, I believe that it's a really important part of our class because imagine a class where everybody has laptops and nobody really knows what's going on, and there are a couple of students who are really experts in this thing who like after a while become the teachers to the teachers, so it's a really cool thing. And it actually maintains a really collaborative, peaceful atmosphere where everything works really smoothly. Like with every technical stuff, we actually get help from them. And everybody, like after a while, everybody, I don't know, knows, everybody gets to know from each other and benefit from each other. So that's a really helpful thing in terms of running a class smoothly.
And one of the questions was how many student tech crew members, and another question was about middle school. Robert College is a high school, K9 to K12. After middle school, 8th grade, students take a central exam and then come to our school, and there's a prep year, not just for English, but to become familiar with the school. So 5 years high school, our school, and in 2011, we started with just 1 grade because we have 1,000 students in total, which makes 200 students in every grade. And we said, okay, it won't be a good idea to start with 1,000 students. We didn't think the technical part, but we thought about the tech integration into curriculum and how teachers become familiar and the challenges, the bottlenecks. So we start with the prep year, which is EJS year in 2011, and every year the new coming year is added on top of it, and this year we had 1,000 students, so all the students are enrolled. And in middle school, of course, the same model works that we are going to talk about, student tech crew. The first year in 2011, in our school, none of the students knew about student tech crew, because when you are starting a new thing, it's not easy to promote it and tell others how it works, not just teachers, but students as well. So we chose students, and we have 11 sections. So 200 divided by 11, if you look at it, we have 18 students per class. And from every class, we chose 2 students, 2 or 1, the first year. And the second year, the new coming preps saw their friends. And then the second year, we have 30. And this year, we just from 1 level, we had 40 students. So after 5 years, we have 112 students, which means 1/10 of the student body. So it becomes popular because it's not just helping teachers or students, it involves parents and the community. We are going to talk about helping other schools, public schools, private schools, foreign schools. So it's a huge family. And as Özgür said, this didn't start like a club. It started as a program, because when we talk about clubs, it's just one day, once a week, but this is an ongoing thing. For example, on my laptop, I won't just hold it up, there are stickers. So the students, we will show some samples, have these stickers, so their friends, their teachers know that they are part of this big family and the crew. And we said, okay, this is community involvement project for sure, because you help your friends, you help your teachers. Actually, when we first started, we thought that it will be great for other students. For example, just imagine a classroom of 20 kids and the teacher, and one of the students cannot get connected to internet. So instead of sending that student to the tech support, or teacher going and spending time with that, the student tech crew will would help the student. But then we found out that in the video, Sibel, one of our colleagues, said the student tech crew helped me a lot. And teachers had problems with projectors, connection, and if you use a Mac, then the mirroring problem, it's not a problem, but you have to get used to it. Or we use Haiku management system, learning management system, or Moodle. We use both. So our students also helped them. Then this was like the side effect. And then we found out that they are helping their parents at home. With Facebook, Twitter, we'll show you their work, how they created videos and showed the best practices, how the parents or their friends or their teachers can set the security settings of Twitter or Facebook. So every year, the first year they get 10 hours of CIP credits. In our country, every high school student has to get 50 CIP, Community Involvement Project credits. So if a student is enrolled into this program, Student Tech Crew, every year he gets the first year 10, and then according to the activities he's involved in, then he can get 15 or 20, so they get in return the credits, but this was never the main motivator of this. For example, in the video, the student with glasses, Ayhan, he's leading the MUN club in our school, so he became a leader in that. And Miraj, the small guy, now they're seniors, Ece's class, so he's interested and he's working in business intelligence area and Intel Labs in Turkey just offered him a job already. So
yeah, and as the CIP thing, it's also important because they're learning a lot through the year from each other, and during the summer they are going to other cities in Anatolia, Eastern Turkey, poor cities, poor regions, and they are helping to government schools how to run such projects, or sometimes they're using, as school or our parents, they're donating some laptops and they're building computer labs for that village schools. So they're also working during the summer as well, voluntarily, and they like it. They really like it.
And even the Hour of Code, it's very popular in the States, and it's getting more popular in Europe region. Hour of Code, that week we hosted public school students, and these Student Tech Crew members showed them how to use Scratch, and we will show you some photos. Sumo robots, it's very popular in our school, so how to program, how to put together the hardware parts. So it's not just giving back to the school, it's giving back to the community. All over Turkey. Turkey is a big country, 70 million people, but we started from one part of it, like Özgür's other project, seen with other eyes, so we think that this is very important.
Maybe we can make it global this year.
Yeah, after this presentation, we will share all the resources which are coming soon. You will see our student work, and we are not going to make any comments, we'll get your comments, so we can have a broader community, because every bit counts, and we are just high school, but for example, you'll see the videos which can be used by middle school students as well. And a recommendation is if you have a one-to-one program, it can be a tablet or laptop or both, you have to start this program parallel to your the one-to-one program, because when students are involved, they get the ownership of the program. So, but it's never late. If you start it, you will see that giving the proper training, which we will talk about, because it's not just putting the sticker and saying that, okay, you are the Student Tech Crew, you have to give the proper training, which we call first aid training, what to do and what not to do. Because when we talk about first aid, you never give drugs to people, you just help or you just call the 911. So it's not treatment, but just the first basic things. And this is our vision, Student Tech Crew vision. We created it with students, since it's a student-driven program, so students have to be part of it, and basically Student Tech Crew assists teachers and students and parents and the community we will revise it this year. The students will revise it this year. So the focus can be on the learning. Because, you know, technical glitches always create problems. And in a class of 20 students, you know, if 2 students have a problem, then it can be a big problem. You know, sending a student to the technical center, or as a teacher, if you try to solve it, then you may lose the control. And we found out that when we started this program, we cut 94% of the issues or the technical issues students had in the classroom. And our school is 153 years old, and if a student drops the laptop, then he or she can you know, crack the screen, so none of the student tech crew members can help. But most of the problems are software based, like haiku learning elements. There could be a problem with the Dropbox, and if you are familiar with haiku, then you know there are some glitches sometimes with all the programs, or Google Drive. So how can I share the work with my teacher? These seem basic, but you know someone has to show it when you have the problem. And our rule is an STC member never fixes the computer. For example, if you cannot share a Google Doc with your teacher, then the student tech room member gets next to the student and just gives the directions. You know, go to the top right, hit share, and then hit advanced and type the first 3 letters of your teacher's name, and boom. That's it. So this is very important when you are putting this team together, because he or she can do that. Okay, give it to me, and just do it in 10 seconds. But if he or she spends extra 10 seconds, in 20 seconds, there will be the learning opportunity. So this is one of the key points.
Yeah, and they're designing their stickers. Stickers are very important. So this is the first version with the Superman. Yeah, but as you see here, it was a bit big actually, covering all the screen and the other side of the laptop. So now we are using that one. We have some samples to give out. So it's really nice, because I mean they do know each other, of course, but from teacher's perspective, when you get into a class, if they're running their laptops, if you're doing something with the laptop, you can see the sticker and you can recognize who is in the team. And if you have, or if anyone else have a question, I mean, it runs very quietly. No one disrupt your lesson. No one say, "Hey, John, can you please?" I mean, it doesn't work that way. They quietly just have eye contact and saying. So, I mean, it runs very quietly in the class. So it works very well for teachers as well.
And laying the foundation expectations, we get feedback, constant feedback from student tech crew members, and also the other students and teachers. And we didn't want to put them in a list, but we used Wordle. You can use Tuxedo or Toggle. So it shows you the frequency of the words. For example, this is for 2014-2015 academic year, and you may see that, you know, if it's big and bold, then most of the issues or problems students or teachers have. Then we can focus on these. For example, in September 2014, most of our teachers used to have PCs, Lenovo laptops, Windows 7, and then there was a shift to Mac, you know, MacBook Airs, because they are light, they can, with the battery life is longer, and there are many educational apps. So teachers had problems with Macs because, you know, mirroring the screen is different, and the gestures, you know, the shortcuts. So most of them had this problem, and as well as the students. And Google, you see, we are a Google school, so Google Drive, using Google Drive, and we introduced Google Classroom. In our school, there is no rule that you have to use one LMS. We never force teachers, use Haiku, use Moodle, use Google Classroom. What we do is, we set the expectations to teachers, and the first expectation is having the materials, links, or the, you know, presentations or the resources online accessible by students. So some teachers chose Google Classroom, so that's why you see Google here, and we had those issues. And slow as I told you at the very beginning, we started grade by grade. So the school didn't invest too much money in the infrastructure. So some of the classrooms had slower or limited internet connection like here, you know. If you walk up to the 4th floor and there are some rooms that the signal rate is low and, you know, it's slower. So when we see this, we say, okay, we have to budget more for the infrastructure. So this gives us an idea. And, you know, I use this Wordle. Are you using Wordle or have you ever used? Yeah, it's great for language classes as well, you know. Before reading an article, we just copy and paste to Toggle, or Toggle is cool for, you know, primary school students, and I like Wordle. Then you can see the frequency of the words and have conversation with students. So it's good that using this instead of, you know, lines and lines.
Yeah. And sometimes, actually, of course, there's a background, how to run this program. So you have to find common meeting times. It was a bit challenge for us. So lunchtime, we said we can run our meetings, and then it was difficult because lunchtime is the most important time for them outside of the class. So if you want to solve that problem, high quality pizza can solve that problem.
Papa John's.
Yeah, Papa John's. When you're saying that there will be pizza from Papa John's, and everyone shows up. And we had some difficulties because we have some rules. I mean, before, of course, if you run such a project, not just student tech crew, but one-to-one, you have to set some policies. We have responsible use policy, many others, and as tech crew member, you're expecting them to behave well, but if they start games during the class, it's a problem. So anyway, so we had some that kind of problems as well. And you will see later one of our student tech crew guy is saying that, don't they think we're Bill Gates? Why they're asking everything to us, you know, kind of. So, but it was really good because they're, I mean, it's a huge community. They're learning from each other very quickly. And as Metin said, I mean, Wordle can solve such a problem because, I mean, collecting data from them, I mean, getting feedback from them is very important for us as well to see where we have problems, which areas, which programs, equipment, anything. So, and at the beginning, we have chosen the members, but then we saw that mostly boys are, of course, applying for the community. And then we have now nearly equivalent number of girls and boys in our group. So it's much better now. And we thought as a community involvement project, I think this is also very important to advertise it as a service, not as a club or not as a game or something like this. So service learning is, I think, very important here. And training them outside of the class is a bit time consuming, but it is, you will see in a minute, it is really good actually. Metin has very good connections all around the world. He's famous. Anyway, he has contact, he found some contact from Apple, from Microsoft, from Intel, other, and we had some weekend trainings as well for, I mean, day-long training for the student tech crew as well. We'll see in a minute.
And you can see that there is the first Apple shop in Turkey. They opened last year, so we talked to them and we took our students there, student tech crew students. It was a school day, and we got permission from our student activities office, and it was great just for them. You know, they showed Apple gestures, and then they had trainings for green screening, like iMovie, and then Keynote. You know, the basics and more. And Microsoft is supporting education very much in Turkey, like Apple. Apple and Microsoft, they are the best supporters of education. So we had Saturday trainings. We don't want to bring students to school on the weekends, but there are certain programs that you cannot, just put in just 2 hours. And what we do is, like grown-ups, like teachers, when we have, professional development days, we have refreshments, good food, and non-alcohol drinks, Coca-Cola and fruit juice. So they have unlimited food, and they use the same menu with teachers. So they know that they are privileged and they are in the same category with teachers, because we have 2 meeting rooms, ancient meeting rooms. Our school is 150 years old, and we have 2 great rooms with a piano and a big table, Harkness table.
Antique furniture.
Yeah, so they feel like that they are privileged, and they are privileged because they serve the community like us. So it's very important to have the trainings, and the students get real certificates. Some of them get the exams. When you attend the course, you get the certificate, but then you get the online exam, then you get another certificate. For example, we have now 2 students, 2 STC members, who got all the Google education trainer. Now it's Google certified trainer. Google certified trainer, but they're not 18 years old, so they haven't become trainers, but they passed all the exams. Now it's 5 exams. When they passed, there were 6 exams, so it's very good. And you may see that this is Saturday, and they are all motivated working, and this is end of the training, and you can see more girls. And last year we had 7 girls from a single section. Normally we aim 2 students per section, which means 2 out of 20 or 18 students, but 7 girls, they're best friends from their previous school, and we couldn't say no. So that classroom is very, geeky, not geeky, too many leaders, let's put that way.
Yeah, and the companies are willing to do such things as well. They like being in school, and Apple is very good now running Apple in education part, and Microsoft, and they're very competitive anyway. So Metin is Apple Distinguished Educator, so he has good connections. But if you just ask to Apple or Microsoft, I'm sure they are willing to do such things.
And there is Intel. We couldn't put it here, so we can't say it.
Yeah.
My friend is recording it, but Intel supports the learning and education very much in Turkey as well. And there are 6 Intel labs all over the world, and one of them is in Turkey, in our country. 2 years ago they found it, and they are working on adaptive learning. So adaptive learning in a way that they put special, they give the laptops or the tablets, it doesn't matter, and special equipment, so they track the eyes. We did it as a club. So Lynda.com, do you know Lynda? The video place that you can go, lynda.com. You can go and learn how to use Photoshop, for example. Atomic learning kind of thing. So what they do is, in the club time, students watch the video, and then with those sensors they track their eyeballs, and if a student just loses the interest in it, then they say that okay, we have to improve this part. So it's adaptive learning in that kind of. So this is our 2nd year, and Intel is working on that part with our students, which is very nice, and business intelligence as well. So I can't give more details, but this is the main idea.
They were giving free tablets to students who were willing to study after school, stay after school in that project. So they're always giving something, and freely doing all that. Educations are mostly free. You don't need to pay anything.
Yeah, Microsoft, especially game development. So our students who are interested in games participate those courses. And this year there were 21 students, and they chose 4 of them to Microsoft Academy, which takes place in summertime. I think in different countries they have academies. So when these students, they learn too many things. Plus, when they apply to schools, to universities here, colleges, it's a plus sign for their portfolio. And 30% of our graduates every year come to States and go to really good schools. So these things count. It's not just the SATs or their grades in the school, but extracurricular activities. So these are very important. And we don't like this meeting place, but on the left side This is our seniors this year. We have less students because we started with 21, and then some of them became, leaders in MUN, and the 12 in the last year they had to prepare for the university exam. There is a university exam in Turkey if you want to stay, or if you want to apply to states, then you have to start working on your portfolios. But this is ninth graders, and as Özgür said, we use lunch times. But in our school, the cafeteria is so small, and we have 10 days schedule. Everything is mixed up. So with preps, you can meet between 11:15 to 11:45, and then 9 and 10s, 12 to 12:45, and then the seniors after that. So we have 3 meetings, and we try to meet them every month once. It doesn't happen all the time because of the holidays and then the exam season starts, but we have other channels, like we use Haiku Learning. We have a course that we will show you in a minute, so we are always in touch, and we don't want to do everything with the electronic formatting. They stop by the computer center, they stop by our offices, or in the cafeteria. Everywhere we are in touch. It's not just the email or Twitter or Facebook. We never want to lose the human touch. And sometimes, there are things that you cannot write, and especially when you are getting feedback from students, face-to-face always works better. So what we will recommend is, if you start a program like this, always be in touch with your students, not just email or Google Forms. Sometimes we use Google Forms to get feedback, and for the pizza selection, we send the Google form and they choose the pizza, and then we put the order. And they can eat a lot, I can tell you. Once I ordered 40 big pizzas, and boys especially eat more than one big pizza. When I'm saying big, the sizes are different, but it's 30 centimeters. They can eat a lot. And for girls, salads always works. And this is our latest project. 2 years ago, with my colleague Erika Hoffman, she's an English teacher and she's 21st century learning coach. We said, okay, why don't we have short videos for students? For example, we talk about security settings on Twitter. Then if we just put a link, then it will be pages and pages. So why don't we have short videos made by students for students? And start this project. Or we are talking about responsible use policy, or using the library databases. Instead of a librarian, why a 9th grader cannot record him or herself and show it to a prep student, or vice versa, 11th grader, we use mastering physics, for example, or mastering chemistry. So, or Logger Pro. Logger Pro, probably most of you use Logger Pro. And just using a Logger Pro in 2 minutes. So what we did is, I will show you first 2 videos, 2 minutes, and the other one is 1.5 minutes, I guess. And this year's assignment was, since it's a CIP program, at the end of the year they had to submit a journal. Journal includes what they have done so far, what they learned, and what are their plans for the coming year. And we also asked them to prepare a video, at least 1 video, in Turkish or English, for their friends, for families, and for community, and for teachers. So, for example, these are the top 2, organizing your files and folders on Google Drive. It sounds simple, but we see that, I won't say most of the teachers, but even some of the teachers, and 30% of students have issues with that. So let's watch this. And there is YouTube privacy settings, because sometimes we ask in a class, it can be a history class or math class, we say, okay, create a video and put it on YouTube. So always it's public, by default. So students need to know shortly how they can make it, unlisted or private. Okay, let me show you the videos shortly.
I mean, you can go online and find us. It can even be helpful for you guys after this presentation.
Yes, we will share the link, and if you want to contribute it will be great. And
Just contact us and we can work with them.
And the copy of the presentation will be on Twitter and BLC15 hashtag. You can see it there. Okay, let's start with YouTube video privacy settings. And Alara is a prep student, so she's a young student. It's 1 minute 30 seconds. Sorry for this sound system. We need a student tech crew here. She's not a student tech crew, but she's equipped.
Manage the privacy settings and control who has access to video's content. A private video can only be seen by you and the users you select. The video won't appear on your channel or search result and will be invisible to other users. An unlisted video means that anyone who has the link to the video can view it. Your unlisted videos won't appear to others who visit the videos tab of your channel page. To share an unlisted video, just share the link with the people who you would like to have access to it, and they will be able to see it. Here you can find the link for your video. Then all you need to do is click on Save Changes.
So it's short and effective, as you can see. And the best part is, this was part of their yearly assignment. So we got together and we prepared a Google form. By the way, we have a folder on Google Drive, so every student tech crew member can go there. And they filled out a form saying that I would like to prepare a video on this topic. And then with Erika, my colleague, we went over that list. We will show you that list. So we said, okay, Alara, you can make this, because otherwise we would end up with the same topic, 10 times, 15 times. And then we had a session with them and we showed them how to use Snagit. Have you ever used Snagit? It's a great add-on for Chrome browser. It can work on any platform. It can be an Android platform or Mac platform, Apple platform, Windows platform, so they can screencast. And I think Alara used Screenomatic, and it's used for flipped classroom a lot. So we also showed Jing. It's always good to give different software options to students. So they learned how to screencast, and this was a prep student. And just imagine, in the coming years, she will also use it for her other lessons. So it's a learning moment for them. And I'll show you this. This is 2 minutes, and we have the full sound. This is organizing your files and folders on Google Drive, and I think this is one of the most important.
Hello, I'm Ali Chataltepe, and I'm here to show you how to effectively organize your school-related files on Google Drive. First of all, you'll want a well-organized file hierarchy, which means keeping everything in a single folder, divided into subfolders by which year they're from. For example, here, all my 2013 and 2014 files are here, and all my 2014 to 2015 files are over here. And, of course, dividing everything up by classes after that. So, we've got all my English 9.2 related files over here, be they videos, essays, whatever. And I'll show you an example. So we've got our file here. Let's just put some sample content in. So now we want to save it, but we have to be careful about how we name it so as to not confuse our search function. File name should always be the file's name, followed by your name, followed by the course it's from.
This It's important for teachers.
That way you've got an easily possible way of finding all your files on Google Drive. At the end of all of this, this short story still isn't finished, so one last thing you want to do is you want to star everything you're currently working on so as to be able to easily access it. So whenever I want to just go work on a short story, I can jump over here and there it is.
This is a very good tip. For example, we didn't show them, or tell them that put a star so that you can come back and, you know that you are working on it. So shortly, this is our channel. We will also share the link. All the students, as an assignment, use their own accounts to post them on Google. Since we are a Google school, so every student has the school YouTube account. So they uploaded on the YouTube account unlisted. So we created a schools RC, STC, RC is Robert College Student Tech Crew account, and this is our logo, as you can see. So we copied them here. Why? Because when they graduate, even they will have these videos. All the students will have access. And these are in Turkish and English, and you will see that there is green screen. This is in Turkish, and it's on Windows platform. This is, Ali, you just saw it. And this is Google Chrome Basics, bookmarks, zoom options, and accessing OWA and Moodle, troubleshooting. And you see the the durations: 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, a minute. So they are short and simple. Nobody wants to watch 10 minutes video to learn something. I don't know you, but I won't watch. So you will see that there are already. This is our first year, and there are Aperture. For example, I didn't know this Aperture. It's a great photo editing software. And Desmos, this is for maths, right?
Yeah.
So it's only 2 minutes. And in prep year, when students come, they have no idea about Google Drive. They don't know Logger Pro. They don't know Desmos. And what happens is you have a physics class, you go there, and then you first have to learn it, but the teacher doesn't have enough time, or it's a learning curve. And what we are planning is during the orientation, there is the orientation week or weeks in September when the school starts. So we will give the link to the LP, the new students, so they can go and watch them. And why we make it into languages is we give that option. Number one is when students come to our school, they may not be fluent in English, so it will be better for them to hear it in Turkish. The second one, the parents, because parents want to help them. There was that how to type French and German accents easily on Mac. I don't know this, so I can read this, and it's same for the parents. So it's parents, and then the broader vision is national, and hopefully if you are interested, you can be part of this project internationally. So I'm sure that if we just put it listed on YouTube, this video will get hits, thousands of hits, because people look for how they can do it on YouTube, and this video will be used, and it's just 2 minutes. So, and we got a question, and the people, yeah.
No, sorry, I just had a quick question about that, and actually it's for you because you're a student. So, would you be more comfortable, let's say you're in class and you don't know how to do something, would you be more comfortable going to the video, asking a tech expert from your class, or like looking it up yourself? What would you actually do?
I mean, if I knew that the source was just right there, I would just go there and find this channel. But I'm a Robert College student, so I would go to my friend's help because, I know that person. I know the person who prepared that. I know it's good because they're mostly good. I've watched some of them. So that's why I would go up and find this more tip.
Okay, so you would actually talk to the person if they were there, and if they weren't there, you would go to this?
Yeah.
Okay.
a student perspective is always nicer than a professional.
Yeah.
Because a professional's video might be intimidating to watch.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a tech person. I started to learn technology nowadays since my prep year. I'm with technology more than I used to, so I'm new in this thing. So I wouldn't go to a professional's video, but I would just go to my friend's video, or I would just ask that person.
I see. All right, thank you.
So you will have access to this.
Yes, and they are also running a Genius Bar. They are having a setting in a hallway. They place all the students, pass by, and they can see and find them. So they're sometimes they're explaining how to use green screen. There's sometimes, it's up to you. If you just stop by and ask any question, I'm struggling at this and that, how can I get help, or can you help me? They're always ready for help. So they're also following new trends all around the world, what the companies are doing, what the other schools are doing, what the experienced professionals are doing. So they're always bringing the new model, or a mini model of those things to the school, and they like trying new things as well, and they like sharing their ideas, their expertise and experience with the others. Yeah, and as Vitin said, we have everything under Haiku. At our school, we are using learning management system. It doesn't matter which one, or you can set your own Google Drive and folder, and you can use this, but you have to use one learning management system. So we have Student Tech Crew Haiku page, and everyone at school have access to that lessons and page, and they're having everything there, even the announcements and everything from the IT department as well.
And this is not public, but in the next slide you will see that we just converted it into an iTunes U course. So if you are using iTunes U, there is the course code, and if you can enroll yourself, you will be able to access most of them, and we will add the video links. Videos are very recent, so we haven't added them, but you can find the vision and all the stuff we are talking about here on that. And this is another thing that we shared with you, but there are schools in Turkey. RC is the first school who implemented or who started the one-to-one program as a high school, and there were no schools. And then they started the other schools, private schools, foreign schools. There are French schools, Italian schools, German schools. They come to us and they said, what they should do for a successful implementation of one-to-one program. And there are two key issues we share. It's not technical. The first one is the teacher trainings, continuous teacher profession development and trainings, and the second one is the student tech crew. So we believe that the learning is taking place in the classroom, and the technology is used by teachers and students. So the schools have to focus on those, and we share the best practices. This is the first time we are presenting this presentation, so there are new stuff here. But we always share our vision, the first aid trainings. There are links you will see, and you can see what are the elements of the first aid training. Like, oh, my Mac doesn't work. Oh, okay, did you charge it? It starts from that point. No internet. Please make sure that your wireless, is turned on.
And we use students for everything. Actually, we are not working. We're just getting our salaries and lying back, sitting back, and enjoying what they are doing.
AJ is working.
But this is very true. I always say that if you plan well, if you mentor well, and if you give the purpose and just say, okay, I have a dream, we have a dream, we want to do this and that, and just give the give everything to them, and you know, just lead them sometimes when you're having your coffee, you know. And yes, I mean, you're traveling all around Turkey. They are finding schools, other schools who needs help, and you know, poor villages. They're doing most of the thing. We are just, I mean, of course, because of the rules, I mean, there must be some adults, so if we are available, we are going with them. We are asking parents if they would like to go. But it's good actually. They are really helping. For example, I'm running, my department is running another project, and our students traveling every year different cities to teach TI calculator, how to use Google Drive, Google Classroom, Desmos online calculator, many other things to math teachers. Students are teaching how to use this and that in their classrooms to teachers. So I think it's very good to organize them. I mean, just have your team and say, you can do this.
So they become leaders. This is the recipe. And you know, we won't go over them one by one, but you know, we have limited time. So how will you set up your student tech group? At least you may have an idea, and some of you have already a student tech group. If you already have one, how does yours work? And any ideas how to increase the girls' participation in the STC? So we would like to ask this question, so you can answer it now or later. You know, participation of girls, it's very challenging. In the first year we had only one girl out of 20. Yes. But right now it's 35-40% girls. So girls see more girls, and you know, it's the same with the programming, the hour of code. For example, with the sumo robots, we had almost 50% girls, 50% boys. So they need to see that you know, these things are doable, and it's not just you know, geeky things. That's why we named the program as leadership, and it changed it. And we strongly recommend you to, you know, do it in that way. Otherwise, it will end up with you know, only boys, you know, just talking about games and you know.
And if you have boys, it's boring. Sorry.
And you spend more for pizza.
You have to buy more pizza, yeah.
And we will share this on Twitter, so you can see that what kind of questions we ask them to get feedback. These are, you know, you can add more questions. This is how we prepared that word cloud, let's put that way. And the recipe or the trick is, you know, always be in touch with the students, and especially face to face. And you will read sample journals.
I'll read the other one. Oh, was that it?
No, it's one. No, not the other one. Yeah.
And always we want to see, you know, after a year, how their leadership skills developed and technical skills, but mostly leadership. And I like this. STC members should be patient and determined, because not all of the technical problems solve quickly. Sometimes you have to wait or try multiple times. If a STC member is not patient and determined, she might give up on trying, so she would not be able to solve the problem successfully. A STC member should be a reliable person in order to other people to listen her instructions and ask for her help. So this is a prep student, so I think it was Ayça, so she's going to evolve. We always, you know, keep track of students and also share with them, you know, what they were thinking now and what they think in 2 years' time.
Was that this one? I don't. Okay. So back to our students for a second. Okay. I lost count of how many times a student tech crew member helped me out with my technical problems. So really, it's been 4 years, and I have faced like lots of technical problems with my computer and other stuff, and they were great in helping me out. So I want to share a little part of one of my closest friends' journal. Most of the students just go crazy when a little dialog box opens. So when you go and solve a very basic problem, they start to think that we are Bill Gates and we know everything about the computers, resulting them to ask every single tiniest detail. The very dramatic part is when we fail to solve a problem about their laptops, they think their computer will never work again.
And you can enroll to our iTunes course, so there will be the key on the
I
site.
think it's a very good site to start such a program, because you can use that as a schablon, and you can just set your thinking, because you have to adapt. I mean, that works for our school, but maybe you need other things for your school. So, but you can use that as a starting point. I think it's a very good reference.
And you can see that here, Hour of Code, they had sumo robots. And what we did is, as teachers, we didn't organize the Hour of Code events. They got in touch with Microsoft, they got in touch with Apple, Intel, all other companies. So they brought experts for just speaking after school time, during lunchtime. And then there were 2 students. Now they graduated, recently graduated. And one of them led the sumo robot, and this is the first meeting. So the students got together and they worked on sumo robot, and they didn't just go online and buy the robots themselves. They bought the parts and then they did all the programming. So it took them 2 weeks to get prepared, and during the Hour of Code, I will show more pictures. So they did the sumo robot races, and this is, you can see that Scratch, it's a high school, but Scratch is a great tool to start the programming. So Microsoft used Scratch to start the programming classes in our school. And you can see that these are prep kids working on a sumo robot. And this is Orkun, he just graduated, Berkeley, Berkeley Computer Sciences. So he's teaching others and how to put together the physical parts and so on. And this was the biggest event. We had Fine Arts Festival in May, and just a day before we had our RC makers. We can't call it Maker Fair because we got in touch with them. They said you have to apply at least a year before the event. So we say RC makers, Robert College makers, and we said we shouldn't limit it with our students. So we invited students from public schools and private schools, and we didn't limit it to high school students, so K1 to K12. So we ended up with 400 students, and people signed up online, and it was free, and school paid for the lunch only, and people came to our campus, and even a preschool kid with mom and dad, they came, so they participated, and we had many workshops, 12 workshops, and all were run by our students. Like this is, we had the drone workshop, and
how to make a spider workshop, how to make a sculpture using old laptop or PC parts. I mean, it was really funny. It was very good. It was fun.
And you don't see us there. Only students are teaching students, not just our students, other students from other schools, so different age groups, and 80% of the students who are involved in these are part of the student tech crew, and they became leaders. Why we are happy? Because they don't need us. In this conference, in many sessions, we talk about the teacher's new role, facilitator, and I think it's we are very close to that, just becoming facilitators, because we are just showing the way, or opening the doors to our students. It's not just, okay, go and do whatever you do, but first we do the planning and then let them make the decisions, and if they need help, we are there for them. So when they take the ownership, they do great jobs, and this year we will have 6 clubs. We will have IoT, Internet of Things, which is a new area in your school. Maybe you will do that this year or the coming years, is programming and maker movement together. And we have Makers Club, we have iOS programming, Android programming, so a lot of students are getting involved with these, and these are not technical stuff. It's just finding new solutions to current or the coming problems of the world, so we always believe in that. And
most the senior students, they are running the clubs, not the teachers.
And they are teaching the lower grades, 10th graders or 11th graders, so they become the next teachers or
Next Okay, next.
Mentors, instructors,
Mentors, yeah.
instructors or mentors.
Okay.
I like mentors better, and these students just present at local conferences, share their know-how with their friends and with the teachers, as Özgür said, and we are part of New York Independent Schools, Robert College, and we are in touch with them, and we hope this year, 2015, 2016, we will have projects together.
Yeah, more international projects, yeah.
Yeah, sharing and see how it goes. Anything you want to add?
So, any question we haven't answered yet? Here?
I have a question / comment. So you mentioned that students are volunteer, right, to be in this club or in this program. But when the program started, did they volunteer or was there a selection process?
They apply.
Did they apply?
The first year, second year they applied, but first year they had no idea. So we visited home groups. We have home rooms. We used to have home rooms, now home groups. So we announced that there is this program, a 5-minute presentation, and if you're interested, please get in touch with us. This is how we started. But the second year,
they became very popular. I mean, naturally, when they have sticker, when they saw the classrooms, they were like God.
Bill Gates.
Yeah, Bill Gates in the classes. So they were very popular. And the next year, I mean, everyone mostly applied. And then we had only problem that like girls were really shy. And then now we are okay.
So it's not really a volunteer program, it's an application process.
Yes, because it became very popular. Every year we have 200 new students, and the second year 60 students want to apply, and it won't work. You have to limit the number of students.
It has to be selective because it's a hard job to do, but they have to know like a lot of things already before even like applying. That's why.
And the other thing I was going to mention is you were asking, how to increase participation of girls. And my reflection there was, think back of when that started, and if you had to start the program today, do you think there will be a problem with girls volunteering for the program, or would it be maybe 50-50 from the beginning? In other words, the concept of kids, male students being in these geeky programs versus girls, probably the thing of the past. I don't know.
But things are changing. For example, as I said, we have
it's evolved.
Yeah, we have too many things, and the programming, more girls. It's a worldwide thing right now, especially with the hour of code. So
The other code, I mean that.
yeah, and in 2011 there was nothing like that. I mean, it was there, but not promoted, and White House, Obama just announced it, and we showed that video, and code.org, there is the coding for girls, and you can see the pop stars and so on, and the perception is changing. But I would say that if we started today, that even that 50% we may not have.
50-50.
I think it will still take time for girls to, for them to like grab the attention of girls. It'll still take. I think it will still take a couple of years for them to think that it's a good idea to participate in that group.
Because it's not just limited to what's helping your friends in the classroom. As you see, there are other
commitment to many other things. Right?
And there are girls who are working on an app for
so
environment.
much.
Thank you. So writing an app is also for the community part of this.
I was wondering if you were familiar with a program here in the United States called Tech Yes. And Tech Yes is precisely that, about creating student tech leaders. And so they have this organization, Generation Yes, has two different programs that I'm familiar with. One is called Gen Yes, and the other one is called Tech Yes. And so Tech Yes is more exactly what you're talking about. And so I think it does not include the community service part and all that. It's more like the curriculum, how to structure it, etc. The Gen Yes part is something really similar to what you just talked about, but instead of providing the tech support,
It's more like an upside down PD, where kids, as part of their training, it's not just the technology, but it's also something to go to. And so at some point in time, they're paired up with teachers, and they look together at their lesson plans. And so teachers and students provide input on how teachers can enhance their lessons using technology.
Actually,